Hey guys, I'm just going to talk you through some of the answer key to your review worksheet, so 3.1 to 3.3, before you take this quiz. So first thing that I want to cover that's not on the review worksheet, but it is on your quiz. I should have put it on your review worksheet, but I didn't, is being able to tell which lines are parallel in a given situation. So if this is line A and line B, and then line C and line D, okay? If I tell you that this angle here is congruent to that angle, you have to think to yourself what two lines are forming each of those angles. So this bottom angle is formed by those lines. The top angle is formed by those lines. Well, if you look at which lines we have, that leaves us with A drawn in, B drawn in, and C drawn in, okay? Of those three lines that are black right now, the only two that could be parallel are A and B, right? So when they ask what lines are parallel, you would say A would be parallel to B, okay? Whereas on this one, let's say I told you this angle is congruent to this angle. Again, if you draw in the angles, so the angles formed here, and then the second one is here and here, right? Well, of the lines that are drawn in right now, we have A, we have C, and we have D, okay? Of A, C, and D, the ones that could be parallel are C and D. So if you just draw in the angles that I give you, you should have a good idea of which lines then must be parallel. So when it asks which lines must be parallel in the figures, you're telling me A and B or C and D, okay? And then answer key. So you're using this picture here to tell me a pair of parallel planes, lines that are parallel to certain things, and lines that are skew to certain things. So parallel planes is like the top and the bottom, right? So this plane here, we would call QRTS. And then this bottom one here, we would call UVXW. So you can see that here. Those are the two planes that we were talking about. Now, those aren't the only two options. You could have done left and right, and you could have done front and back also. But those are just the two that I gave as an example there. We're going to back up a little bit to get those scribbles out. Okay, then all the lines that are parallel to RV. Here's RV. Okay, that's a vertical line. So you want all the other vertical lines. So TX would be parallel, SW, QU, those are all parallel to RV. Okay, they're never going to touch. That's parallel lines. Then it asks for 4 lines that are skew to WX. So if this is WX, skew is the one that's a little harder to see. You don't want it to be parallel, so not UV, not QR, not ST, but you also don't want it to intersect. So if it's going to hit W or X, it's wrong, okay? So your 4 options here would be QS and QU will never touch WX, and then TR and RV, okay? Then 4 through 7, you're naming the types of angles. So for instance, 1 and 5, and I'm just picking random things here, which actually is number 8. 1 and 5, those are corresponding, right? Whereas 3 and 5, those are alternate interiors, okay? I could say 2 and 7 are alternate exteriors. They're on opposite sides of the line, and they're outside of the parallel lines, these lines, okay? So 2 and 7 would be alternate exteriors. I'd say 4 and 5, those are same side interiors. So they're on the same side of the line, but they're inside these parallel lines. Okay, so those are the different types of angles that you're going to see. Make sure you're familiar with them. If you're not, ask someone around you to help you out. These 4 problems from 3-2, there's not ones that are in that same format, but it's good to know which ones are congruent. You're going to see it on the quiz more like 5 and 6 here. So basically, I'm going to give you an angle, and you have to find the missing angles. So like in this first one, number 5, this 130 is a corresponding angle with this one. So those are both 130 degrees. Whereas these ones, this forms a straight line, these two. Excuse me. So if that's 130, then you would do 180 minus 130, and that means you're going to have a 50-degree angle. Okay, so that's number 5. Number 6, you have this angle here is an alternate exterior with angle 1. So those are the same. And then again, these two form a straight line. So that's 180. So if 1 is 79, then you're just going 180 minus 79 is 101. Okay, and that would be your angle 2 then. Second page. For these guys, same basic idea. I'm not going to do these top ones because that's a lot like what we did for the other ones. But what I am going to do is take a look at like 9 and 10. Okay, 9 and 10, you have same side interior angles. 9 you have same side interiors. So these two you set equal to 180, whereas these two, those are corresponding angles. You set those congruent to each other. So we would say, like in this bottom one, 3x minus 5 equals x plus 55. Okay, so corresponding are congruent, alternate interiors are congruent, same side interiors are supplementary. Remember the S's, same side supplementary. And then alternate exteriors would be congruent also. So just make sure you're paying attention to which kind you have. Do I set them equal to each other, or do I add them together like this one and set them equal to 180? Okay. Oh, I did have these. Shoot. I just didn't look far enough. So this one, again, telling which lines are parallel. This is like what I started with. Angle here, angle here. Those are corresponding angles. The two lines that would be parallel would be D and E. Okay. This bottom angle is here. This top angle is there. So you have this line, and this line. So the lines that would be parallel. These ones are named a little different. On the quiz, I just give it to you like, here's A, here's B, here's C, here's D as a line. So this would be, in this case, A and B are parallel. Okay. And that pretty much covers it. There's a little bit of like these 3, 4, 5 here. But we kind of did some of those earlier, so I'm just going to leave it at that so you don't run out of time. But good luck. Sorry I'm not there to answer your questions. You're welcome to ask Mr. Robinson if you think he might be able to help you with it. But yeah, I'll see you guys Monday.